recent piece that you put out. This is a capital allocation piece. I think I put up an interesting table that you come up in your piece. This is 2021. We're talking about $7 trillion spent on this area. This is a capital deployment of major US corporates. 7 trillion are spent in M&A, investment SG&A, which is the intangible that we were talking about a moment ago, capital expenditure, this is the tangible, and the rest of it. So 7 trillion on capital allocation. We probably don't have time to go through a lot of them today, given the time limit. Just one question to you. The key message seems to be that many of the CEOs or the C-suite people may not be well equipped to do the job of capital allocation. What worked for them in the past may not be something that is relevant in terms of capital allocation. We are talking about M&A, we are talking about share buyback, not the nitty-gritty stuff about product design, cost optimization and stuff like that. So are you saying that, actually fund manager or CFAs are actually a better fit to be a CEO?
In some ways that's true. I should mention, Alvin, that my hope and anticipation is that we'll have the global version of this capital allocation piece in 2023. So this year, hopefully we'll publish a global version of this. And the global version, we've done one many years ago, but one of the interesting things when you look at the global one versus the US one is you can see the areas where different parts of the world invest in different ways. So it's a fun exercise. And so stay tuned for that in the next few months. But you're exactly right. I mean, and it says it right there on the left, the capital allocation becomes the primary responsibility of the CEO, and most CEOs are not trained to do that, right? They're usually marketing people, or they can be finance people, but they're not operationally trained or whatever. Most of them are operationally oriented. And so, and Warren Buffett's talked about this a lot. They then become the CEO, and all of a sudden their sets of responsibilities change quite a bit. And they're just not trained or versed in doing this effectively. So yeah, and if you're a money manager, an investment manager, you're spending all day thinking about capital allocation. At least that's what you should be thinking about, right? Where can I get the highest return for a level of risk I'm willing to assume? By the way, capital deployment for companies can also be difficult. M&A is a good example because M&A is consistently the top spending source, and it's very difficult to reverse. So you put a stock in your portfolio, it's a public company, and you make a mistake. I mean, it's not happy, but you can usually sell it with some sort of liquidity. By contrast, you do a big M&A deal and it doesn't work out. It's very difficult, much more costly to reverse. So it's a very different set of circumstances. So yeah, I think this is huge, and I think that the best capital allocators over time. This is the one skill I think I wrote in the piece. All roads in managerial evaluation lead to capital allocation, right? Basically, that's the punchline.